going to talk a little bit about the faction highlights, how factions play, what makes them different from one another, and going to start with the first three factions we released, which is United States, Soviet Union, and then CNSA Taikonauts right there. When you look at a Lunar card, there is three main stat blocks. The first is your mobility, the second is your competency, and the third is your resilience. The secondary stat blocks, I would say, is your oxygen. That's how many actions per turn your unit has, and then their mass. And this value actually moves up and down depending on what items or resources they're carrying. These guys are kind of your baseline stats. 3 mobility is good, 4 resilience is good. In this case, the commander has a 2 competency. He's well trained, he's good. You would look at something here as 1 competency for the specialists, and then 0 competency for your generalist grunts. Their play style is meant to be a well-trained, cohesive crew. So the commander's ability, stringent training. Other friendly units within 4 inches of this unit receive a +1 bonus to their competency rolls. The bonus cannot be applied to the commander's competency rolls. That means that if my NASA guy has a buddy within 4 inches, and I'm making a D6 competency roll of 4, I need a 5 or a 6 to succeed, so that +1 goes from 4 up to a 5. Boom, I succeeded at whatever I was attempting there. It encourages unit cohesion, keeping your units together, working as a team, and that's NASA. So the USSR is slightly more resilient. Their suits are a little bit tougher. Additionally, you'll see that their mass starts at 5 instead of 4, goes up to 10. While the USSR is a bit better at close combat and fighting, they can struggle to chase down an enemy. In fact, a NASA astronaut with a mass-based weapon that can cause displacement of enemies that they hit can kind of run around and kite the USSR guys. They can never quite get into close combat range at that point. It's a viable strat to deal with them. The last one that we have is the Taikonauts. The Taikonauts, if NASA's the all-rounders and Cosmonaut are the brutes, then the Taikonauts are the overwhelming numbers. In Lunar, you initially balance a crew using that oxygen actions stat. And as you can see here on the Taikonauts, all of them are down to 3 actions. What that means is a Taikonaut crew, when you start out a campaign, will actually have a commander, a medical or tech or mission or combat specialist, as well as 2 generalists. So Taikonaut crews will actually start with 4 models, whereas the USSR would have 3. While their individuals may not be as good as other individuals, they generally have another person, which means that if you tie up 3 of your people in close combat, you still have this 4th guy that can run around and do things. So in short, United States, jack of all trades, pretty good at everything, not excellent at anything, but as a team effort, they get the job done. Cosmonauts, a little bit tougher, a little bit slower, really good at combat. That's what they excel at. The Taikonauts, a little bit lighter, a little bit faster, and generally have more on the board to overwhelm you with numbers. That's the 3 first factions that we released for Lunar. We also have the freelancers in ESA, we have the ISRO and JAXA, and now we have the Commonwealth. All of those 5 as well have their own kind of unique play styles and abilities, and we'll touch on those in some further videos.